Hey guys, welcome back to Jay Shannon Literacy. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you for pressing play today. On this channel, I cover a lot of things, but all things relate back to literacy. How do we create stronger readers, writers, and critical thinkers in a space where we are not always intentional? And so how do we make habits that are going to allow for more literate people overall? So if that is something that you are interested in, please considering pressing the subscribe button. Make sure that you hit the bell so that you are being notified whenever I post a new video. So today's content, we are going to talk about some do's and don'ts for Black History Month. Without further ado, let's get started. All right, so let's just get right to it, okay? It's Black History Month, and there are many things that we can do to make this a very respectful and culturally competent, culturally responsive experience for all. And then there are some ways that we could really just tear it up. And so I am going to give some things to consider and some suggestions on things that you can do this Black History Month to not only improve your own knowledge, but to improve the knowledge of all of those around you and whoever you interact with. So first things first, why do we have Black History Month? If you have no idea why we have Black History Month, if you are the person that says it should be year round, you're not wrong, but it isn't. And since we have it in February, I want to make sure that we are paying attention to why it's in February. Who is the creator of Black History Month? It's Carter G. Woodson, by the way. Did you know that it started out as a week? Those things are important for our own edification knowledge. So we want to make sure that we understand why we are doing what we are doing. After you understand why Black History Month is in the month of February, you can't help but notice that there are often times where we Black people, completely left out of the conversation, as if we did not have specific impact on all things in America. And so that's why we have Black History Month. This is an opportunity to highlight Black excellence. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong that it's in the month of February. It only matters that you do your part and help educate people on the greatness that Black people have contributed and continue to contribute to our country. So now that we know the why and where we should start, let's talk about some things that we can do to make this a respectful, culturally competent learning experience for all. 1, do not start with slavery. Don't start with slavery. Seriously, don't start with slavery. It's not necessary, okay? You save that for something else. It's all in the history books. It's all in the texts that are being read in schools. We don't need it in Black History Month. Instead, start with Black excellence. And so we can just start at the top. Let's start with first, okay? First things first, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris is a Black woman. She is a South Asian woman. She is the first woman vice president. All of those first wrapped in together. Start there. She also graduated from Howard University, which is an HBCU, historically Black college and university. It falls under that umbrella. She is also a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Also, more Black excellence. All of those things. So just by looking at Madam Vice President Kamala Harris, you are looking at 3 different strands of greatness coming out of Black excellence. That's how we want you to teach Black history this month, okay? Segue over to Stacey Abrams, who basically is a mood, right? So if no, I'll be back is a person, it's her, okay? So she didn't win her governor's seat, which she was the first to be nominated for first Black woman, I believe, or Black person. It's Blackness. Look it up, okay? So Stacey Abrams, she didn't win the governor's seat in Georgia. She turns around and she works to flip the state. And so she registered all these people to vote in Georgia. Georgia is now a blue state, and it has 2 blue or Democratic senators, one of which is the first Black man, and that is Reverend Raphael Warnock. I'm always struggle with, should I say Senator first? Senator Reverend Raphael Warnock. That is who is our first Black senator out of Georgia. That's a big deal. So You look at Stacey Abrams, you look at Raphael Warnock. We have an entire trifecta right there just in politics of Black people that you can highlight in the month of February for Black history, okay? So we can do it that way. Another thing that we can do, I brought up historically Black colleges and universities before. Stacey Abrams graduated from Spelman. Raphael Warnock graduated from Morehouse, 2 more HBCUs. How about we just take the month to research historically Black colleges and universities, their contributions, notable alumni, what they offer, why they're important, and why they were created. All of these things can take you through the entire month. It shows appreciation for Black culture. It shows and highlights for all students why African Americans move the way we move, why we have the spaces we have, and how it has benefited not just us, but benefits the country. So there you go. You're welcome. All right. Another thing that we can do is look at young people who are currently making history. So Marsai Martin, who plays Diane on Blackish, she's a mood. Okay. So she was or is the youngest executive producer at 14 years old when she did her movie Little. That's a big deal. What is she like? What is she doing? What other things is she working on? That's Black excellence, okay? Setting the stage. We also have Simone Biles, who is the most decorated American gymnast. Big deal, okay? Not to mention the fact that she's the third most decorated athlete or Olympian in the world, okay? That's huge. Young Black girl, Black excellence, right? Then we also have Marley Diaz, and Marley is responsible for the 1000 Black Girl books, okay? And she was frustrated with her reading experience in school because we don't always show up in positive lights, or we don't show up at all. And she wanted to find books that had Black main characters. Well, she is a young activist. She not only did her 1000 books, she's done so much more. She's another person to research. So those different things are ways that we can address Black history in a positive light. Another thing that we can do is we can highlight movements in Black history. So the Harlem Renaissance or the Great Migration. Either of those are a great place to start. The Harlem Renaissance will introduce you to not only that movement but also all of those people who made such a major impact on music and literature and the city of Harlem as a whole. When we look at the Great Migration, this is the greatest movement ever. And even though these people didn't all migrate from the South at the same time or even together, their collective thought process to leave the South for better treatment is what better diversified the rest of the country. And so there are several things that you can do to promote Black excellence during Black History Month. But please, please, please do not start with slavery. Actually, just don't even cover it. It's not necessary. And so I'm hoping that I don't hear the stories, but don't be that person. Don't ask kids to pretend to be slaves. Don't recommend that they think about what it would have been like if they were slaves or what they would have done. Don't ask your white kids to be slave masters. Like these things, is like it doesn't make sense. Okay, it's not necessary. Understand that Black History Month is the highlighting of Black excellence and all of our contributions, because without this month, we are constantly overlooked. We are constantly not given opportunities to show and highlight what it is that we do and how we do it. So when you are researching all of these great people and these great movements, understand that their greatness is in spite of roadblocks that have been placed to limit them, which is why it is Black excellence. So I hope that these do's and don'ts, well, there's really just one don't, these do's will help you better create a learning environment during Black History Month. You can do these things at home, you can do them in school, or you can just do them on your own for your own information. So if you liked what we covered today, let me know in the comments. If there is something specific you think I should have covered, share it with everybody else. Obviously, this is not an exhaustive list, but it is a quick 1-2 to say, hey, here are some things you can do, and absolutely don't start with slavery. All right, so if you like this video, please be sure to give it a like at the bottom. And until next time, thanks for tuning in. Bye.